halfway mark. There's Mitchell. Last year they played a heck of a game. Missouri scored 110. Mitchell went for 30+ in that one. Richard, I said it a moment ago, Charles Bediako, second game back with Alabama. More on his saga as this game unfolds. He is in the starting lineup today to combat that post force in Mitchell and others for the Tigers.
Bediako should be a big impactful player for Alabama, particularly on the inside.
After T.O. Barrett misfires on the baseline, Alabama pushes back this way. There's number 2 in the white. Aiden Holloway missed their Tennessee loss on Saturday with an injury. He returns to the court today into the starting lineup. They're still without Amari Allen. That is the really dynamic freshman. He is unlikely to play tonight. Aiden Sherrill, the very versatile stretch big, misfires. Latrell Wrightsell gets his team a new 20. There goes Holloway. He is the marksman, and he nails his first look.
Well, there's no rust for Aiden Holloway after he missed a game in the last one. It's a big-time shooter, averaging over 17 points a game. His presence will be felt for Alabama today.
He, and you see number 35 there in the Missouri starting lineup, Jacob Cruz. They are 2 of the premier three-point shooters in the league. Leading the way for the Tigers, Mark Mitchell, as we mentioned before, goes for about 18 a game. He has been particularly effective in league play. After the turnover, here come the Tigers. Barrett, a driving kick over to Cruz. Watches that one go down and out. And Bediako secures the board.
You see Bediako already with 2 defensive boards for Alabama. He's going to have to be much better when it comes to his defensive rebound.
Yeah, they only had a 3 in that game against Tennessee the other day. Sherrill knocks down the left wing triple.
Now this is what you get with Alabama with Bediako back in the fold. Aiden Sherrill is 6'11", 250 pounds, but he's more of a face-up big with a really good touch. He's developed some low post skills, but now he's back into a little bit more of a natural role for him.
Yeah, 2 6'11" bigs on the court. They're multiplying for Alabama these days. Barrett inside, coming off of his career-high breakout performance in the win against Oklahoma.
T.O. Barrett's a really good guard. He's a strong-bodied guard who's fearless with getting in the paint. He can get downhill, and he can really shut down his man defensively.
Oh, look who's open again. Sherrill knocks down another.
Aiden Sherrill was out earlier in the shoot-around, getting up extra three-point attempts and working on his game. And it shows you that the hard work is paying off early for number 22 in white.
The sophomore's got a couple of 20-point games in league play, and is tonight another breakout performance. Cruz picks up the dribble, and Sean Phillips Jr. here is looking to find Stone. So this is one of the impactful scorers for Missouri. After the miss, Cruz puts it back up. Phillips would not be denied. They are really strong on the glass, Missouri is.
Good activity right there by Sean Phillips Jr. and an offensive rebound putback, and a big one that Missouri needed.
That's travel. Ball back to Mizzou. Dennis Gates' team won on Saturday in overtime against Oklahoma. He described it as a gritty, resilient, just, would not be denied sort of a victory. He's looking for a second straight win today against Alabama.
Dennis Gates has done a phenomenal job at Missouri, particularly when it comes to motivating his players to get the best. And some seasons his teams have been riddled with injuries, and a little bit this season, but they're starting to get healthy, starting to get their chemistry, and I think they can still continue to play high-level ball.
They've got some big wins in league play. There's Phillips off the window, so he's got 4 quick ones.
And that's a high-level move. He took his time right there on that short roll and got to a jump stop, and the extension with the lefty hook off the glass.
This is Labaron Philon. The sophomore is the league's point-per-game leader.
Well, Philon can get it done in so many ways. He's going to have to assert himself. You see T.O. Barrett. That's that strong dribble move that he has. He has an outstanding physique, and when he gets you on his hip, you're hanging on for life when he's finishing at the rim.
That time Philon nearly blew past him. Taylor Bowen tees up a 3. Who was that last touch by? Mitchell saves it, and Missouri's coming back the other way. Yeah, Richard, for Barrett, he's got it right here. Second straight start, and his pass is too far for Phillips. Numbers, Alabama pushing. Holloway puts it up, missed it. Bowen ties up Mitchell.
But sometimes situations like this may play a role to get some type of ruling that can make things better for everyone across the landscape, for all professionals, foreign and domestic.
Yeah, we're going to look back, I think, on this week or just how this ruling plays out, and it could really shape the future. By the way, 3 seconds left here for Alabama. Philon, a little sidestep, misses the three, tap back up, and the rebound is secured by Trent Pierce.
Yeah, you talk about making to stand. It's the Missouri defense. This is the team right here that won't blink. They've been able to finish out games. If you are the Tigers, you want to keep this game close because they have a knack for figuring out how to win games in the clutch.
Here goes Mitchell up with the left. That's his lead hand. Missed everything. And Houston Millette nearly threw it away. Jaden Stone popped it up in the air. Millette going to step into a deep three. Phillips the board.
And Sean Phillips doing an outstanding job offensively and defensively, clearing it out. Now, Missouri's a team that can execute in a methodical way in the half-court set. They'll move the ball around really well and find a quality look, and they're very efficient when you talk about field goal percentage.
Here's Anthony Robinson back on the floor. That is the junior from Tallahassee. He's coming off the bench today again. Puts his head down and scores it at the rim.
Well, you can see his ability. He calms the team down. Takes a when players enter the draft, I think the NBA should adapt more of the baseball model. Call a player up, ask them if they like the position they're picked, and let them have a choice. In a day of player agency, allow the player to have a little bit more control of where he wants to work professionally.
London Jemison wants the three. Missed it. Pierce got his hands on it. And now Barrett looks to push. Robinson cut off by Philon. Pierce is open. He is a very capable outside shooter. Phillips another offensive board.
Phillips doing yeoman's work down low. Seems to be in a groove when it comes to the rebounds and getting second opportunities for the Tigers.
Yep, he's got 3 rebounds now in the first 8 minutes. Plus 4 points. Robinson a step back. He gets fouled.
Georgia team that goes deep and plays an electric style.
And he just had a front row seat to watch him. I agree with you. He looks like he has just evolved, much more confident as this year has unfolded.
Well, when you get to this point of the season, you're no longer a freshman. You're a sophomore, and the growth has happened before your eyes.
Philon, he has been the breakout star in the league this year. Pulls the trigger, Philon connects.
That's good defense, but that's just better roll. Well, Missouri doing a really good job trying to give some pressure on Philon. But those shifty moves, all he needs is just a little bit of a crease, and he's able to knock it down from deep.
Much more fruitful start for Alabama beyond the arc in the early goings today. They struggled against Tennessee. They've hit 3 times from distance.
Well, Alabama,
Cruz, the curl. Missed it.
Alabama leads the conference in three-point attempt rate at over 52% of their attempts. And if they can get more attempts from the three-point line, then the more effective they are.
They're happy to have Holloway back today. Unfortunately, no Allen for a second straight game. Jemison for 3. Timeout, Missouri.
Well, the 3 ball has started now, and I think this is only going to make Labaron Philon look much better. You know he can score the ball, but the playmaking ability of having a legitimate lob threat on every single possession really is going to elevate his assist numbers.
How did they fare in the pick and roll game the other day in your eyes against Tennessee?
Well, listen, Rick Barnes' defense is starting to settle in, and they will squeeze you and make it very, very difficult. And that was just a game that they've made Alabama struggle to find high-level shots.
Trent Pierce, the junior captain from Tulsa, missed all of the non-conference season. Has played in now every SEC game to this point. Had a big 3 on Saturday, I would say.
Well, he makes a big difference.
Yeah.
And at 6'10", he can get off his shot and anyone around.
Bol Bowen might have had that one partially tipped by Phillips.
His shot and anyone around.
Bol Bowen might have had that one partially tipped by Phillips. And then a foul on the inside.
That's one right there with Bediako's presence to get this offensive rebound. If you're Bol Bowen, you're catching this ball in a short roll, you have options. He really can throw that right at the corner of the square and allow Bediako to get the alley-oop. So when you're reading in the screen roll situation, you have to read where your advantages are. If Phillips steps up off of Bediako, you throw the alley-oop. If he remains stuck to him, then you finish it yourself. So it's quick decisions that you have to make from your power forwards and, quite frankly, from all 5 players on the court to make the best decision to be effective.
And Nate Oates let us know that earlier today. He was going to put Bediako in the starting lineup against some of these really clever Missouri front court players. So Bediako gives his team a quarter, who is now missing a 9th straight game. Timeline for him still up in the air. He was a bit more active today in their shoot around, which was definitely a step in the right direction. So after the miss at the line, Alabama by 3 on this end. Sherrill, you know, that shows his versatility.
That's beautiful right there. Outstanding recognition for the sophomore. He's banged out 2-3 balls earlier in the game. And when he did that time, you have to respect it. That pump fake gives him the easy alley in the lefty finish in the paint.
He continues to blossom this year. Mitchell, though, straight to the rack. Mitchell, too strong. First basket of the night for the senior from Kansas City.
Well, Mark Mitchell is fearless, and he's going to take it right into the chest of the Alabama interior defenders.
And a great day against Oklahoma, as you see. Jemison drills the 3. That's his 2nd.
Alabama already getting hot from outside. They struggled against Tennessee shooting the 3 ball, and now they're able to get things going early in this ball game.
Well, they got 6 here in the first half, and that's what they finished with against Tennessee. Right cell in transition. Philon, ball fake, puts it up. That one's offline.
And that's one he wishes he had back. But a great job of using that pump fake to get the defense out of his way. Always on balance and shoots the shot that he wants to shoot.
Nate Oates bemoaned after the loss Saturday. We need to generate better looks. Are you seeing that so far for Alabama?
Yes, and it's by way of the extra pass. And you can see Aiden Sherrill, he knocked down 2 3-pointers earlier, and that time you got to respect it. And a great use of fundamentals and understanding of the game to get all the way to the basket. You touched on Alabama getting quality shots, and in their last outing against Tennessee, only 9 assists. And this is a team that has to move the ball much better and share it. When they do that, then the shooting percentages go up, the balance and distribution of scores increases, which makes it much more difficult for them to guard. They've been able to implement a little bit of that game plan tonight.
You just saw it. Good call. 7 of their 9 makes assisted. 6-point edge. Philon coming to double. Robinson is open. Back out to Mitchell.
That's a good job by Taylor Bowen.
Oh, wow. Shot clock was running down. Yep, that's a turnover.
That right there is really good defensive execution by Alabama and knowing personnel. Well, Mark Mitchell is not a 3-point shooter, only 28 3-point shots on the season. And Taylor Bowen, with a short clock, rotated out short on him. He didn't run him off the line, and I think that little bit of hesitation, Mitchell thought he could use his pump fake and get to the basket, but it made a big difference right there in Alabama with the turnover on the shot clock violation.
Mizzou 39% shooting thus far, that's all. Right cell, got his man in the air. The 3 is pure.
Oh, Alabama's starting to get in a groove. And when you know that you're a team that's prolific from outside, the team must honor your shot fake, and they're utilizing those fundamentals to get cleaner looks.
Largest lead of the first. They're up 9. Stone is trying to barge in. Stone missed it. Alabama secures it. They're in a groove now, and on the run. Here's Philon, the lob to Bediako.
How did he call? Dialed up some pretty good action to get fouled into the free throw line. I'll look to see them executing some of their high-low sets right now.
Bama's putting some pressure on him, too, on this end of the floor. Last few possessions. Oh, Robinson dribbled it. Did he dribble it off his foot? Robinson's got some words here for the Alabama bench. That one is out of bounds. Ball to the tie.
That's a tough one right there for Robinson as he dribbled it off his foot. They had a really good designed action right there with Cruz coming back up off of a double screen that to shoot it at the top of the key. We'll keep our eye on that one. Look for Dennis Gates to dial that one up later in the game when they need a 3-pointer.
Alabama foot on the gas right now. Right cell, hits Bol Bowen. That's a really nice backdoor cut.
Well, good job on the recognition. It's Bol Bowen. He's driving strong side. The defender had their head turned. He gets on a beeline right to the basket. The dime leads him to the layup.
Somebody's got to try to end the drought here for Missouri. Mitchell dials up the three, still on the board. He was on the end line. And so nothing really breaking Missouri's way the last few minutes.
And that's where you see where those short closeouts on Mark Mitchell on the three-point line have been effective. He's a really talented player. I think if he steps into that three ball with a little bit more confidence and not shoot it with so much hesitation, he'll be a much more efficient shooter and a much more confident shooter.
Yeah, it's definitely the one weakness in his offensive game overall. He does so much well. So after the giveaway, now Mitchell has it. He can push. Mitchell back out to Robinson. Robinson from 15. Not that time. It's a now more than 3-minute scoring drought for the Tigers. Look who's open. Bol Bowen. Mitchell's got it. Double-digit lead for the Tide in the first half. 3:15 to play.
Offense looking a little stagnant for Missouri.
Phillips finally ends the drought, so it's Mizzou's first basket in 3.5 minutes.
Phillips has been able to get in a groove down low. He's had 2 left-handed jump hooks. If you're Alabama, you got to understand personnel.
Oh, man, that was more than halfway down. Houston Millette thought he had the triple. Chance for the Tigers. Mitchell, close range. Yeah, there's Phillips. Big to big, and he throws it down.
Well, that's something they do really well. Mark Mitchell, he can score the ball, but it's his IQ and playmaking ability. You see him taking his time right there and throwing it right to the rim for the alley-oop.
He's got a couple of assists. Phillips, meanwhile, has 8, so he's already at his season average.
The switching defenses.
Oh, Philon, that's good.
And the subtle details on that particular situation. Mizzou's in drop coverage with Sean Phillips back in the paint. And Bediako holds that ball screen for just a tick longer. That allows Philon to be able to get freed up and shoot it without any contest from the help.
It goes without saying, just the luxury of having Bediako. Look, spent the last few years in the G League. But that is quite an advantage you gain. Philon now with
a big man in ball screen action. Many players, many coaches think that for bigs, it's a simple thing. Be big, pull rebounds, run, finish, set a screen, and roll. But you have to be able to recognize and have a vision to see the defense of what you need to do. If the defender is up to get ready to hedge, then you slip out quickly. If he's back, you hold your screen a little bit longer. And you can see that Bediako and the experience that he has is able to make a difference with that recognition.
Millette, a corner 3, misfires. And it goes without saying the advantage that, of course, Alabama has. You add him here at this point in the season.
Well, you know, it definitely is a significant player. But Bediako, 23 years old.
Yeah.
You know, there's plenty players on the court that haven't, as far as age is concerned, and experience in just playing the game. But sometimes playing against higher level opponents gives you reps that you just can't quantify. And you might be able to see it in small details like that. Maybe not in the statistical column, but it's the spacing and understanding of the game and the application of the sport.
They have been in rhythm on this end of the floor. Philon adds another. He's got 11.
Really good job. Labaron Philon with that action. He shapes it up and gets really good spacing. Mitchell
is open. Mitchell counted. Yep. The line. He has been very impactful, though, in the paint in the first half for Mizzou.
If you're Alabama, you have to have a little bit more of a spirited effort of boxing out Phillips. I mean, he goes 0 for 2 from the free throw line. And this is an opportunity for Alabama in the last seconds to see if they can capitalize.
And all that said, they got a chance to extend this lead.
I'd go screen roll. T.O. Barrett's a really good defender. I'd get him off the ball.
Yep. Philon pulls it, missed the 3, 4 seconds. Quickly to Barrett. He's got another dribble here. Barrett from half court, missed it, and Alabama takes a commanding 13-point lead
in the first half, and it was all because of the spacing and the unselfish play of the Tide.
You wouldn't have fit into that GMC. We need the regular size one for you. Luckily, nothing got switched up in the parking lot. 13-point lead. Alabama starts with it this side of the floor. They've lost consecutive home games, which is an oddity and a rarity in the Nate Oates tenure. Sherrell gets fouled underneath.
This game is the fact that he's doing it alongside Charles Bediako. Oftentimes, young players struggle when you bring another player into the fold. In his last outing against Tennessee, had 6 points, which was well off the mark of what he's been doing recently. But tonight he's back in his groove, and the front line is playing well.
He looks freed up. He has been an X factor. Barrett drills the three, and Missouri needs a little spark on that end of the floor. They were 2 of 9 from distance in the first, and they missed a whole bevy of free throws. That's a foul on Cruz, his first.
T.O. Barrett knocking this down from the outside is a big deal for Missouri. They had a struggling time in the first half to convert, maybe because of the defense of Alabama, but a lot of time left. You get a shot like that to go, that'll be huge for them in their momentum.
He has been very impactful the last 4. He's from Oklahoma City. Nice homecoming game the other day, scoring the career high 21. Bediako, oh, there's a spin. Yep, that's just a Gamecocks. They had a big-time win, yeah, against Vanderbilt on Sunday. Defeated a top-5 Vandy team by nearly 30.
Yeah, the Don Staley squads, they really flexed their muscle against a really good Shea Ralph and Vanderbilt team. Michaela Blakes, Albry Galvin. That's a really good team. But Larry Vickers in his first year at Auburn on the women's side, he'll have to bring his A game against a tough opponent.
Good luck. Let's see if Barrett can make it 2 in a row. Barrett, that's good.
That's a good find right there. And then we talked about the rhythm, and T.O. Barrett's been able to knock down back-to-back Jays.
So he remains in rhythm. He has 12, the lone Tiger in double figures. They're trying to slice away slowly but surely at this deficit. Holloway, the extra pass. Cruz was there to defend Sherrell. Wrightsell missed it. Phillips the board.
This is a tough shot for Wrightsell. You know, your energy is moving backwards. He's been able to find that shot when he used the pump fake. You can see.
Scoring Alabama 9-4. Mitchell, he's reliable at the line, but missed this one. Nevertheless, this one's back to single digits for Mizzou. Philon is open, sets the feet, offline. Wrightsell a new 20. Well, he's wide open. Yeah, cashes in.
Now you see the difference. The shooting percentages go up. And Latrell Wrightsell, oftentimes he rushes his three-point shot and he's not as effective. But when he takes his time, then he really takes his percentages up a whole nother level. If I would give the suggestion for him is find your spots when you're on balance, and you'll be far more effective.
Bo Bowen can't hit it. Wrightsell, he is the veteran from Omaha, 3rd year with the program. Mark Mitchell puts his head down. That one was jarred away. Up ahead to Holloway. Transition 3. No.
And not a fan of the decision right there of Alabama. You get a steal and you're going down 2-on-1. You got to get in your running lane and finish that with a layup, pulling up for a 3-ball. Not the best option.
It was almost a 2-on-0 there for a second. Missouri, though, can't make them pay for the transgression. So Jaden Stone, 2 of 7 from the floor. There's a lob to Bediako. Just put it on the reel. There's another.
In another situation with Bediako. In another situation with Bediako. A lot of people understand screen roll basketball, that you have to play with speed, but it's really about tempo. And he changed up the rhythm when he set that screen. He got the advantage of 2-on-1, and that created the alley-oop.
So it's another double-figure game for Bediako.
The made free throws for Missouri would have been a game changer. You know, it's
They've missed 9 now. So they're down 11. or make it 12, pardon me. Now, look, you can't, it's not as if they would make all 9, but.
No, that's the difference.
Yeah, that
is
partly
the
explains,
difference.
yeah. Right cell, patient, back into the paint, flings it out. Noah Williamson is open, left the 3 short. No one blocked out Philon. And so there's another whistle. 4th team foul on Mizzou. Bediako, he loves it.
It's this 2-man game between Bediako and Holloway, and there he is up top.
Is why the NCAA initially denied the eligibility waiver, citing that provision, of course, saying, look, when you keep your name in the draft, you forfeit your remaining eligibility. Now, his legal team is citing, as you referenced before, there's a lot of precedent that says his legal team here could have a case against that, considering that provision is based around amateurism. The pass goes out of bounds. So look, he gets the temporary restraining order. They're looking for an injunction to keep him playing the rest of the season, and that will unfold. That's kind of the nitty-gritty here right now, Richard.
Well, it's a lot, but in the simple terms, there's been professionals that have gotten clearance to play in the NCAA.
Yeah.
Now I will say in this particular situation, when Charles Bediako entered the NBA draft and he was undrafted, the rule that should be changed by the NCAA and the NBA is if you're undrafted, that should not forego your eligibility. A player should be able to get back to college, as you can see. Internationally, that's not the case. So your talented players have to come up in the professional club system. Now, you do have your handful of players like a Ricky Rubio or a Luka Doncic who do play against the top-level competition, where they're playing against former NBA players and professionals who are making high salaries, and they are impactful. But many of the players have played on the youth levels in the B teams and the younger teams, and many times they're just practice players, and they might get a minute here or there.
Right.
But nonetheless, you want the opportunities to be equal about across the board for players, regardless of where you come from, when it comes to determining who's a professional and who's not, and how do you get eligibility in the college game.
Missouri taps that one back in. So the element to tweak in your eyes is that provision that is centered around losing Holloway scores it. When you declare for the draft, you lose eligibility. We can tweak that one in your eyes.
You can tweak a lot of things. And I probably would start the first one as we see another breakaway.
Here's Holloway, by the way. Oh, Barrett, get that out of here. T.O. Barrett with the hustle. His team's still in the 13-point hole. Mitchell going up, flings it up, and the throwdown. Pierce follows. It's an 11-point game again.
Yeah, now you stand the surge, and it's starting off that athleticism of T.O. Barrett with that rejection.
Philon, though, got very close range there. It could not finish the left hand. Millett, did he call the timeout? This is the second straight.
That you can utilize, that you can get an advantage in the game. And Nate Oates and his staff thought that was something that could be elevated to give them an extra possession.
Reitzel knocks that one loose.
A really good job right there by Latrell Reitzel, playing 3/4 around, getting the deflection. And you can see Jacob Cruz immediately saying, point it up. I'm 6'8", throw it up top and put it right there so I can get the ball.
Missouri in its biggest hole of the evening. They've only won in this building one time. That's it. They're 1-8 in Tuscaloosa. That'll stay here, but 5 to shoot. That only win in this building was back in January of 2018. They have got to climb all the way back here with 11:26 to play.
Let's see what kind of quick hitter they got designed on this BOB.
3 to shoot. Robinson a step back, offline. They just have not shot the ball effectively enough here to hang with Alabama today. Less than 40% from the floor, and they've struggled from distance and at the line. Oh, Philon, get out of his way, but he missed the layup.
Well, he dished out a little too much physicality trying to clear out the space, and that caused him to miss his own layup.
I'm surprised they didn't call the offensive. Nevertheless, they're back on this end of the floor. Reitzel, he's got 5 threes. Extra pass, the corner, Jemison right back. And they're going to continue to move it. He's open, Reitzel, bucket!
Now that's how you play the game. And Latrell Reitzel came down, and he had an opportunity to shoot that ball, and he passed it up. The ball goes around the perimeter, and every player for Alabama passed up a good shot for a better one. and it came back to the guy that started it, Reitzel, with the beautiful shot.
It's a career-high 6 triples for the veteran from Omaha. Robinson off the window on the other end. And early on, you pointed out, took a couple of off-balance threes. Since then, dialed in.
Yeah, one thing you'll learn when you get more experience, and that comes with maturity, is that you want to play the game on your terms. And you play it with the pace.
Okay, Bediako. Excuse me.
Yeah, you play it with a pace and understanding how to get a bucket. And you can see Charles Bediako reading the defense to perfection and getting the easy deuce.
Yeah, right now they're taking it to Missouri. They have opened up a 20-point cushion. Past the halfway mark in the second. Phillips starting to go to work. Underneath, lost his footing, lost the basketball. Missouri with 11 turnovers. Reitzel, another, yeah! About it. Look, we can't afford to lose, let alone another SEC game. We don't want to lose another game in this building. They haven't lost 3 straight in Coleman in Oates' tenure as a head coach. Last time that happened was almost a decade and a half ago. Jemison misfires. Now the player that is trailing the play, it is Charles Bediako. I missed it. He was slow to get up, but clearly took a tumble there after that latest sequence. I think he's telling everybody, I'm okay.
He took a hit and he just needed a moment to catch his composure. But nonetheless, you touched on the ability of Alabama. This is a team that has enough talent that they can play with anyone. They've played a tough schedule this season, and they've dropped some games against some big-time teams. Purdue, Arizona, to name a few. And when they're at full strength, talk about getting Amari Allen back into the fold. This is the team that has the personnel to compete with any team in the country. But they're going to have to get their chemistry together very quickly as they start to get healthy.
Now that has been the recent bugaboo. One player is hurt, somebody comes back, another one goes out. There's a lob up top to Trent Burns and a very gentle wedgie. Usually it's a little more emphatic than that. Ball back to Alabama. They got the arrow.
Definitely so. It's talk about that chemistry and getting the team back together. When you have a deeper roster, in many ways it can be a challenge. You have to learn how to work the minutes that you have. May the minutes that you get be 5 minutes, 15 minutes, 22 minutes of playing time. Are your minutes effective and impactful? Did you make a difference while you're on the court?
Reitzel, nice find that.
In the same direction. That's a challenge to do, but they'll have to figure it out. And since they've dug a hole in conference play, they'll have to figure it out quickly.
Oh, that's why Oates and the staff, they still are very much believe in the upside of this team. There's just been a number of factors that we're talking about here. That one's tapped back up and in. That has affected that chemistry at times.
You have to make sure that you...
Oh, look at that one. Sherrill could not throw it down. Up ahead to Barrett. Barrett rises. He's fouled on the app.
Gotta love a little Friday night heights.
Elite matchups. Everybody in the conference is great, year in and year out.
The best athletes in the league, as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah. Philon trying to bulldoze his way inside. Reitzel. Wow, he's so open, he slipped. Can't get up. It rolls to Sherrill, and Sherrill is fouled.
Right now from Missouri, moving the ball around. Mark Mitchell just off the mark. He's been struggling. He's going to have to get back to his bread and butter, which I think is in that mid post when he operates. He can create for himself and for others.
Alabama's pretty much getting.
Terrell scores 1.
What stands out most about Alabama's performance to this point?
that they've continued to put their foot on the gas. You know, their problem this past season, or this season, has been they've been able to get leads, and they're not able to continue to guard. They guard when they're playing good offense, but this game they've still been able to get stops. You're holding Missouri to 39% from the field and doing a really good job. Now, Missouri's had a lot of self-inflicted errors at the free throw line, as they've been 5 for 16. But Alabama's starting to play a complete game with balance on the inside and outside.
This is Randall, the rookie. Throws it up with the right. Cruz is there to clean up the glass. You know, and a lot of those missed free throws very early in the game. That is the bizarre figure. Now, Missouri has not been as quality
here in the closing moments of the game.
You know, anywhere Philon goes these days, the scouts are there to watch. You know, Trent Richardson is in the house.
Allen, who has recently shown in his numbers and what he's done in conference play, is a big factor in that. They have a lot of guys, and this is just uncanny. Mark Mitchell and what he's done at the free throw line.
1 out of 8.
Listen,
wow.
I've been there before.
Yeah.
It's a challenge. It gets in your head. You start to get a little bit of a hitch in your shot. What you have to do if you're Mark Mitchell.
There's a lob back to Bediako. He has been the beneficiary of a number of those plays tonight.
Well, Philon, I mean, he's phenomenal with the ball. And he knows when he comes downhill in that screen row action that if he can throw it up at the corner of the square, he's got a legit finisher.
Philon today now 14 points, 6 assists. Lob it up another, and so Jemison, the rookie, got a little over-eager that time.
You can throw it high, but you can't throw it that high. and it's one thing about touch when it comes to passing. Is many times you're looking at the player that you're throwing it to, but you really have to understand that you're passing it to an area in which the player is going.
Yeah.
And so if you're London Jemison right there, you're not looking at Bediako. You're looking at the corner of the rim of where Bediako is trying to go. And it's those little subtle details in the skill set of the game as Philon draws a foul on that push-up. And you understand things. And you know, the way that the game is trending, it's easy to get in.
Yeah, Richard, hold on just while we got a moment. So you got the Fighting Tiger, chronicles the 43-year career and legacy of LSU gymnastics head coach D.D. Bro. His career mirrored the evolution of women's college athletics. SEC story. That's Friday, February 13th, right here on the network. Go back to your point. I want you to finish that one.
Well, I was thinking about that nice promotional. I'm gonna have to tune in and watch that out, but check that out. But I tell you, you learn certain things about the game with time and experience, and that's how you have to learn how to read it. The game slows down, and there's always a good option to take.
Philon, little push shot.
The line again. Really good shooter. You have to have a knack of what's going on, and this kid right here knows exactly how to play the game.
So tomorrow right here on the network, Tennessee is in Athens to face Georgia. Tip-off 7 Eastern on the network. You can also stream it on the app. Nate Ament broke out for 29 points. That was a career high in the win against Alabama in this building a few nights ago.
He was on a mission.
Yeah.
He got a lot of his buckets in that mid post at 6'10". He was just turning right around, shooting over top of his defender. He's starting to figure it out. The game is slowing down. He realizes he can be more aggressive with getting to the basket. And that's a feel that it takes to figure out that you take what the game gives you and then you just deliver.
Right now in this league, you know, this title race, again, we're not quite even yet at the midway mark of the SEC season, but I don't know which way this title race is
wide
going to
open.
unfold. Tennessee, of course, with that win, they got back to 500 league play. They're now 3-3 before their game against Georgia. Got a lot of quality teams right in the middle of the pack of the SEC. The leaders right now, Texas A&M at 6-1. Arkansas just matched them in the win column with that victory earlier against OU. They're 6-2 in league play.
Well, I don't look for the Texas A&M Aggies to go anywhere.
Yeah.
Bucky McMillan is playing really well with his team. Got him playing a spirited style.